Birds of a feather flock together. Fire up, go adapted eagles, baby! Got something awesome to talk about today, beasties. Let's get to it. What's up, beasties? It's me, Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you're here. You're looking marvelous, looking, dare I say, beautiful, beasties, and I'm glad you are here. So today at the school I work with, every year they do the Special Olympics basketball tournament where all of the special ed students, students that are in wheelchairs, who have cognitive impairments, all sorts of disabilities, physical, mental, emotional, they get to have their day in the spotlight, and it's awesome. They play other basketball teams from other schools. The gym is packed with students. We bring them down, teachers and students, all day, and they just sit there and they cheer. And every time a student makes a basket, the crowd goes nuts, and the students just love it. And it's so awesome to see their faces light up when they score, and they show their picture on the board, like the big mega screen in the center, and they say their name, and it's just awesome. It's an awesome day. I love it every year, and it's a lot of fun. But today I want to talk about with you, it got me thinking, what are some books that I've really enjoyed that have characters in them who have some sort of disability, mental, physical, emotional. So I've got some books here to share with you with characters that have those things. So be sure to leave me a little comment. Let me know some books that you've read. There's a lot out there I know of that I still need to read, but shout out some of your favorite ones and favorite characters who overcome their disabilities, and or stories that their disabilities play a big role in the story and their character depth, and I think it can be really cool. So I just want to celebrate that today and talk about these books. So join me, if you will. Let's get to it. All right, so first up, a book I just finished that I'll be doing a review on soon and talking about in my next wrap-up, and that is Guard in the Garden by Z.S. Diamante. This is the beautiful special edition. Let me show you the actual cover. And this book is about my man Felton right here, a dwarven warrior who gets injured during a battle, has a bum leg, and the book is just great. It's very cozy. But it just is such a great story. It talks about him and his journey, and how he feels like he doesn't serve a purpose anymore. If he spent his whole life being this warrior, this soldier, and now he can't do that. Who is he? And what can he do? How can he serve a purpose if he can't do what he's always done? And it's just an amazing story. You guys definitely need to check it out. This was fantastic. Great character work, and just really awesome look at what a lot of our soldiers go through when they are injured and they can't do what they've done, or even just when their tour has ended and they are trying to live a normal life after being in such a high stress, high action, high death around the corner situation, and now they're just, taking their kids to school and going to work and doing the normal stuff. So this was fantastic. You definitely need to check it out. I really enjoyed it a lot. Another one, this one I have not read yet, but I'm going to this year, and I am excited to, and that is Songs of Chaos by Michael R. Miller. Ascended, the first book, and this isn't even the human character, but the dragon in it is blind, which I think is pretty cool, and the main character saves them because a blind dragon they think wouldn't serve a purpose, so instead of letting it get killed, he saves it, and it's about their story, and I think that sounds awesome. So I'm excited to check that out. Let me know if you've read that. And a couple other ones that I haven't read yet that I don't have in here. There's Dragon Mage. I really want to read that one. The main character in that has a disability, and it sounds pretty awesome. Another one by Joe Abercrombie, Half a King, the Shattered Sea trilogy. I have this trilogy and I need to read it, but I have not yet. And the main character in it has a bad hand, born with a bad hand. And he's a prince, and he's trying to become king, and he has to do it with a, disabled hand. So a physical deformity and disability. So definitely excited to read about that. So those are some physical characters with physical disabilities. I'll get my last one here actually is a book and series that has all of these, and I just think it's fantastic. So we'll talk about that at the end. But moving on now to mental disabilities. So physical ones can be easy to see. Usually, maybe someone's in a wheelchair, maybe they have a limp, they have a cane, they've got a deformity that you can tell that they're struggling with. But mental and emotional are not always easy to see. So mental, one that I thought of right off the bat that I don't have in here because it's packed up already, but those are the Dexter books. Dexter, I'll put a picture up here, definitely has some issues. Someone who's sociopathic and is killing people, but he has some set rules that help him not cross the line and kill an innocent person. But that's one that I thought of. That's a great book series if you haven't read it. But another one I've read recently that I've really enjoyed is Mute in The Whisper That Replaced the God, book 1 and book 2 that just came out. Nice short novellas. They are a lot of fun. And Mute definitely has some problems. He lives in his own world. He definitely has some mental disorders, but he is a lot of fun to read. And yeah, he hears what he wants to hear. It makes sense to him and only him the way he hears it. And he is just an insanely good time to be inside of his head. Check these out if you haven't yet. They're a lot of fun. And then another one that I want to get back into this series, but I've read recently, is Justice of Kings. And I think Von Vault, the main character, definitely has some things going on. He's very withdrawn. He has some social anxieties, I think. I think he deals with some depression. And he's got a lot going on with the magic that he uses. I think that and some trauma from the past. He's got a lot of different things going on. And I think he's a very, very interesting character. And I cannot wait to continue on with this series and see where it goes. So yes, definitely that's another one. Now we get into emotional. So here you're going to think about PTSD and anxiety and depression, all those kinds of things. And these first 3 here that I'm going to talk about are some of my favorite series. And first of all, Red Rising. A lot of characters in this deal with a lot of traumatic events and have some PTSD. And they're dealing with grief and loss and depression, some anxiety with the way the world is and with what's going on and what they have to do. Some battle fatigue. And I mean, our main man, Darrow, in this, he definitely deals with some trauma early on when he's young, and you see how it shapes and forms his life and his interactions with others and how he does so many things in his relationships. It's very interesting. I absolutely love that thread through this whole story and how it affects him and a lot of different characters. So that's one I think is very well done. And another one is Greatcoat series. Our main character, Falcio, or I always say Falco when I read it, but I think it's Falcio. I don't know. But anyway, he's awesome. But he definitely has some trauma, some PTSD, some depression, things that he's been through. And he's also struggling with trying to find his way in a new world after the Great Coats have kind of been disbanded, and he doesn't feel like he has a purpose. Very similar to Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. Gabriel De Leon, the Lion. He goes through some traumatic stuff too. And he definitely deals with some depression and grief and things like that. And it's funny how they all deal with it. A lot of times they find purpose. They need to find purpose. Sometimes it's through helping. It's the people around them that give them purpose. Family, friends, someone who needs their help, a cause. And it's very interesting to see how it affects them all and all these different stories with that theme. And I think it's very, very good. You should check out all of these if you have not. And finally, my favorite series, First Law. I have book 2 before they're hanged here because it's got Glock down there, my man, the cripple. He's a fantastic character to get inside of his head as well. Just brilliant. And he's very, very smart, very intelligent. And he has self-deprecating humor, just puts himself down all the time. It's very fun to read. And And I think that's really well done in this, but it also has characters that suffer from a lot of other things. So, mental disorder. You've got Logan Ninefingers, who becomes the Bloody Nine. He's definitely got some split personality, dissociative stuff going on. And I also think he has some anxiety and depression wrapped around that. And I think is done very well. But characters throughout this whole thing, I mean, it can be a dark world. There's a lot of there's always war going on, and battles and bloodshed and loss and grief, backstabbing, manipulation, and people definitely dealing with all of that. I think that Giselle definitely has some anxiety that he deals with, of feeling like he's not living up to things. He's always got low self-esteem about himself, and then later on he definitely has some depression. So I just feel like the main characters and the side characters throughout this whole series, you deal with a lot of deep character stuff, physical disabilities, mental disabilities, emotional, and it's really well done. So this is, if you haven't read this series yet, definitely check it out, because it really gets into a lot of that stuff, and it's very well done. So there you go. Some books that I just wanted to shout out that really dive into having characters that have these very real disabilities that people have to deal with, and it's cool to see how it's done in a fantasy world, and how that really expands the depth of the characters, the world, and also the relatability, because we all have some of this stuff, I mean, there depression, anxiety, a lot of us deal with that stuff, but then a lot of us also deal with physical disabilities and mental disabilities, or people we love do. So it's a real thing that we all are touched by some way, shape, or form. So these books are great. Check them out. And if you ever get a chance to go to a Special Olympics basketball game or event or anything like that, or you see an amazing special education student out at the store or something, and you have the opportunity to just say hello to them, I highly recommend you do. Sometimes you would be amazed at not only how you can make their day by just saying hi to them, but also how your day can be made by talking with them and just seeing the joy that so many of them have for life, despite the hand that they were dealt. I've worked with special ed kids and adults my whole life, my whole adult life, and it's just an amazing environment to be in. And yeah, so just feeling very blessed today, as I always do on this day when we get to celebrate these awesome kids. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Look for an episode of Triple B's Book Mail and another A Beast's Tale, as I update you on what's going on here and everything else. Look for all that in the coming days. And I'll also be on tomorrow night with Rowdy Player One for another episode of Beast Friends Forever. Look forward to chatting with you there. So until I see you in the next one, Beasties, as I always say, devour your TBR, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see ya.